So I'm going to say a few words about Neil Peart. It's been about 2.5 weeks since he passed, and you know, I'm not going to say a whole lot. This is going to be a very short video because a whole lot has already been said by a whole lot of other people, and I'm nobody. I'm just a guy. Whatever I can say is just something that would pertain to me, and what he and his musical ability and his lyrics meant to me. You know, I've got a whole other video where I talk about how I came to even be a major fan of Rush, the band, because Rush is a band. If you want to go watch that video, I would love for you to, because I made it for you, and it's about me. But yeah, please go find that video and watch it. It's in my list. It's one of the first few videos. I think it might even be the 3rd or 4th video I made, or 5th. Anyway, I was walking out of work on January 9th, and my phone starts blowing up with messages, because everybody who's a friend of mine knows I'm a fan of Rush. They know it because I talk about them all the time, and I put their songs on my Facebook page, and I put their pictures on my Facebook account, and everybody knows. So I start getting all these messages from my friends saying, hey, I'm really sorry for your loss. And I'm thinking, what? Did somebody in my family die? What? And then somebody sent me a link to the article about Neil's passing, and I just froze. I just froze right there, walking out of work, and I nearly started sobbing. Because I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Because as far as we knew, as far as we the fans knew, Neil wanted to retire because he had tendonitis in his ankles. And maybe he does. Because nobody knew he had brain cancer. Well, no one outside of apparently a very, very small circle of friends and family knew about it. And they were apparently given very strict instructions to not make this public. Because if you're a fan of Rush, and I mean a real fan of Rush, you know that Neil is a very private guy. He always was. He just wasn't into the whole fandom thing. In his words, he couldn't handle the adulation. And I get that. That's perfectly fine. And that sense of privacy extended into his apparent battle with brain cancer. And for 3.5 years, he dealt with that. And nobody knew. In fact, he died on the 7th, and that wasn't even made public until the 9th. But his lyrics over the past 25-30 years that I've been a big fan of the band, his lyrics have shaped me into the person I am today. His lyrics moved me, and permeated me and shaped me and affected me, all for the positive. He was such a gifted lyricist and such a gifted musician. And I don't think we'll ever have another like him. I don't think there will ever be another like him that will have such a profound effect on me. And ever since I learned that he had died, I've listened to his music, I've watched his performances, you know, on YouTube videos, over and over and over. And, you know, since the day I was born, there's never been a day until January 7th that I didn't live in a world without Neil Peart. And I watch his drum performances, and I watch his performances with the band. And as I'm watching, the thought that keeps coming into my head is, these songs, those drums will never be played that way again. Ever. The band retired in 2016, about the middle of 2016. And that was apparently when he discovered he had brain cancer. Another thing is, if you know this band, you know that Neil suffered a double tragedy in the mid-90s. Right after the end of a tour, Neil's daughter was killed in a car accident. And then 10 months later, his wife died of cancer. And that just destroyed him. He left the band. They didn't tour for 5 years. He got on his motorcycle and he rode and rode and rode and put 55,000 miles on his bike. He just disappeared for a while. And I think, this is what I think when he found out he had brain cancer, I think that was when he decided he was done with touring. He was done with the band. He didn't want to be in another situation where he didn't have that quality, special time with his new wife and his new daughter. And I think he decided he was done, and all he wanted to do was be a dad and a husband. And more power to him. I need to stop talking about it because I'm going to start crying right now. I'm going to start crying. Anyway, Neil, wherever you are, thank you so much for all of your music, all of your words, and what they have meant to me. And that's really all I can say. Yeah, I'm done.